Hello, my friend, and welcome to the podcast. Today is a very interesting conversation because it's one that I've had for years with people, but I've never outright said this on the podcast. And truthfully, I'm recording this and I'm like, how is this going to turn out? Do I want to release this? But I'm excited because it's something that I need to talk about. And it was made very apparent to me as I'm recording this yesterday. When you're listening to it, it's in the future. But yesterday I was having a conversation about money with one of my clients, and I felt like I have to talk about this on the podcast because it's come up so many times. And so if you have interesting, uncomfortable feelings about money, today's episode is for you, my friend. So let me set the stage for you, and I'll just, we're talking about money. So I feel like it's really interesting. Everyone has a money story, and I don't know yours, right? So you may have a story that's like, I talked about money all the time growing up. I'm very comfortable with money. Chances are you're probably not listening to this podcast episode if that's you because of the topic of this. But if that is you, just know that you are in the minority, at least of people I know and people that I've worked with. The majority of people I work with are women. I have had a handful of male clients over the years, but the majority of people I work with are women. When I look at the overall landscape of the women that I've worked with, in terms of percentages, I don't really know. I would say the majority of women that I have worked with technically did not need the money coming from their business. They either had a partner that was, taking care of bills in terms of the financial need, or they had a full-time or part-time job that was technically paying the bills, right? So their entrepreneurship journey, their business, at least at the beginning, wasn't paying their bills. So they had this feeling of not needing to make money. Now, I have also had clients that are like, I have no plan B. This has to pay my bills. Okay. So I've had the gamut of both. There's pros and cons to both as well. But yesterday, as I'm recording this, yesterday I was on a call. I was having one of my goal design sessions. So if you're curious about really just talking through what you want to accomplish and creating a realistic plan, that's what I do in goal design sessions. And so we spend 2 hours together. And so I'm on a call with this amazing woman. And she says to me, because we were talking about money, because she wants, one of the things she wanted to do was make more money, right? So she answers these questions in the questionnaire before, and she says she wants to make more money. And so I ask a lot of questions. So if you tell me you want to make more money, just know I'm going to ask you a lot of questions about what does more mean to you? What do you need to make? We're going to dive into it. You don't have to tell me specific numbers if you don't want to, or you totally can. It's always confidential. Everyone feels differently about it. But here we are, I'm asking all these questions, and she says to me, and I'm going to try really hard to do her justice with this because she was so brave and so honest. And I was asking her about, what do you want? What is more? What is more? And she goes, Amanda, I feel really, and she's putting her hands towards her face. And she's like, I feel silly. I feel guilty. She's talking lower because I don't need to make the money. And I said, that's okay. She was like, I'm retired. I worked really hard for what I have. I have a partner. Her financial needs are met. I don't need to make money, but I want to make money. In that moment, I even said it to her. I said, I think I'm going to do a podcast episode on this. I just want you to know I think I'm going to do something because of how many times I have experienced what just happened on this call. A woman. By the way, I'm not trying to put people in a box here, but I've never, ever, ever, any of the clients I've had that are male, that shout out to all the male clients I've had, they've never had this problem. Not once have I ever heard this. Not once in all the entrepreneurship co-working spaces I've ever been. I've never heard a guy say this. Again, I'm not trying to put people in a box. I'm not saying guys don't feel this. I'm not saying all women do. But my experience has been to see what I witnessed on this call that just broke me into a million pieces and made me say, I have to talk about this. Which is my dear friend, the woman on the other side of this podcast, with your earbuds in, doing whatever you need to do. I need you to pay attention to what I'm about to say. And it is, you are 100% allowed to want to make money. Period. End of story. I don't care what you do with the money, because here's the deal. Anyone who's worried about wanting to make money is not going to do anything bad with your money. You're going to do amazing things. Number one, I hope you do something amazing for yourself. Take care of yourself. Go to the spa. Buy that thing you want. I don't care what you do. Do something awesome with your money for yourself. But chances are you're probably going to bless other people with it. You're probably going to take people on a trip, or you're probably going to give some to charity. You're going to do these other things. And that's where I have seen women say, like, but if I make more money, I'm going to give some to charity, or I'm going to take my family on this trip. And I'm like, that's awesome. Also, what are you doing for yourself? What are you doing for yourself? It is unbelievable. And like, I just feel like this is just the place we're going to be today. So hang out with me. I have no plan for this episode, by the way. Usually I have some sort of points I'm going to hit or something. This is me talking after having such a reaction to seeing her on the call. And not just her. This has been so many women I've talked to over the years. I speak at events and I'm, having coffee or something. This always comes up. I am always telling people it is okay to want to make money. You don't need it. If you want it, that is fine. It is great. Let's just be okay with the fact that it's okay to want to make money. Period. Like, I could end the podcast episode right there. The problem is I know I can't. Because so many of us, myself included, I want to be very clear. I work on my money story all the time. Bless my parents. They did the best they could, right? But we did not talk about money very much at all. I was told debt is bad. Not saying debt is good. But, I'm rewriting a lot of stories that I have around money. Because I don't want to continue to feel like it's such a heavy burden. It's okay to want to make money. And guess what? It's okay to want to make a lot of money if that's what you want. You don't have to. But the thing is that when we get down to it, what happens on these calls is that moment that once I know, because some women don't have this, some of my clients don't really struggle with like the money stuff. When I notice that someone is struggling with the money stuff, first of all, I recommend a few books or something, depending on what they're navigating. Maybe some podcast episodes, but I always say it's okay to want money, and it's okay to want a lot of money or a little money. I don't care. What would you do with the money? And that's what we end up talking about. And I always encourage them to do something for themselves. And I don't care if it's something small or big. That is irrelevant. It's like, I need you to do something for you, because 100% of the time, I'll say, what do you want to do with the money? And they talk about how they're going to spend it on other people. It's usually their family or friends. And all of that is fine. To bless your family and your friends is wonderful. I'm not saying don't do that. I love that idea. But what do you want? What do you want? And yesterday on this call, I said, why do you want to make more money? What is it? And I was so proud of her because I've never heard someone say this, but I know we all think it. And I was so proud of her. Like, I was just, you know who you are. And I know she's listening to this podcast episode because she says she listens every week, which I love so much. Thank you for listening. And she said, I want to have decision-making power. Yes, that's right. She said it. And I was so proud of her. I want to have decision-making power. And here's the thing. The decision-making power could mean I'm going to go get a manicure for $30. I'm going to go buy that coffee for $7. Or I'm going to go on this trip for $4,000 or $5,000. Or I'm going to take my friends on this trip. Or I'm going to take my family on this trip. I'm going to go by myself. I'm going to buy those shoes. I'm going to buy that thing that I have dreamed about for years. It's making the freaking decision to spend the money. That's what she was wanting. Chances are you want that too. I don't know what your decision is. It doesn't matter what's on the other side of the decision, because again, you're not going to do something horrible with your money. I don't believe that one bit. No one listening to this podcast, or that is encouraged to listen to me in any way, is going to do something horrific with their money. I just don't believe that at all. I believe anyone that is in my realm and listening to this far into a podcast episode, right? You're going to do amazing things with your money. You'll impact the world. You'll certainly impact your world, but you probably need money to do it. Something is probably having you feel like you can't make decisions for whatever reason. That independence, like for me, gosh, I am so freaking lucky and blessed and appreciative that I have what I have in my life in terms of the support. Michael, my husband, has a wonderful job, and we are so blessed to have that he technically covers the bills, right? Like, I don't need to make the money, right? But you better be certain that I want to. And when I don't make money, when I'm not contributing to our family budget, I feel like absolute crap. I hate it. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it, but personally for me, I hate it. I don't like it. I want to be contributing. This is something that is important to me. I want it. And so there have been times where Michael's like, you're putting so much pressure on yourself. And I'm like, yes, I am. And I absolutely want to do that because it's important to me. However, Michael was laid off of his job a few years ago, and we had 9 months where my income was the only income coming in. And we felt that hard. And neither one of us really ever want that to happen again at that same level because we weren't expecting it, right? It was a shocker. I'm thankful that I have the income, right, that was coming in. But it made me realize, like, this is, not only is it important to me, it's really nice for our family to have both incomes, right, of all these things. And so not trying to make this about me, but I just want you to know that, like, I'm on that in that moment. And I think that it's important for me to acknowledge it. I'm not the sole breadwinner in our home, but I would welcome it if it could happen, right? If I could make all the money and Michael wanted to take some time off, I wish I could do that. I'm not necessarily in the position to do that right now. Doesn't mean I won't be later. But point being is I've navigated those same feelings. So I think that that's why I'm like so passionate about it. But it was the woman on the call yesterday that really got me. That I was like, I have to talk about this because what if someone else is listening and you and I never get to talk on one of those calls? What if you never hear this from someone else? What if I'm the only person that just gave you permission to want to make money? My dear friend, if that is you, I want you to know I believe it 100%. You are allowed to want to make money and you are allowed to want that money for whatever you want it for at whatever dollar amount. So what I would encourage you to do, no matter what you're thinking at this point in terms of like money stuff, right? Ask yourself, what is enough? What do I want to make? What is I know what enough is, but also what you want to make, right? I often have people set good, better, best goals. This is something that Megan Hale, I've had her on the podcast too, but she taught me back 2017, 2018 timeframe, setting good, better, best. Good is enough. Pay the bills. Cover your expenses, right? That's good. What's the best though? The best is, I'm buying that thing for myself. I'm whatever. Like, I don't care what it is for you. For me, I love being able to buy myself a spa gift card when money is more abundant. That way, when money is scarce, I use the gift card because I usually have more time and I can do that. I've given that tip to so many people. So steal that if you like it. When you've got some extra money, buy the spa gift card or buy the thing that you want, the pottery class gift card, the whatever you can do, and then use it when you don't have as much of the money, but you have more time and you need something to fuel your joy again because you're probably stressed about money. So that is the thing. But ask yourself, what do you want to do with the money? Because chances are you don't want just like a pile of cash. You want to do something with it. Then the why can fuel you. What is it that you want to do? If you want that decision-making power, what does that mean? What amount is going to give you that satisfaction? It doesn't have to be a lot, or it can be significant. But I just want you to know, without a shadow of a doubt, that it's okay to want to make money. And if no one has ever told you that before, I hope it has landed in your ears and in your heart in a way that impacts your life. And I hope you change your money story. I hope it starts today. And I hope you move forward with the incredible clarity that it's okay to want to make money. Money is not bad. Money is neutral, and we can do great things and we can do not great things with it. And I believe that you'll do great things with it. So go make the money. So just in case you're wondering, my stance is go make money. I think it's awesome to make money and spend it on yourself and others and do what brings you joy. So that's what I have for you today. And the accountable action is to understand why you want to make more money and then go do the freaking thing to make it. Okay? Go do the thing that fuels you and allows you to make the money so that you can have that decision-making power. And I just want to give a shout out to each and every person I've ever worked with who has been brave enough to tell me that they didn't need to make money, but they wanted to make money. That is a very scary thing. I hope that in those moments I held you in that space and helped you feel very supported as you were navigating those feelings. And if you're listening today and you're feeling that, I hope you feel very supported. And I hope we all go make lots of money, because money is abundant. And just because one person makes it doesn't mean it takes it away from someone else. So let's go make some money, do some amazing things in the world, and buy great things for ourselves and have great experiences with ourselves and ones we love. So until next time.